Hey there, thanks for stopping by. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through start to finish what it's like to set up a Jetpack Workflow account. So I'm going to open up the live application, walk you through exactly what it looks like to get set up so you can start gaining work-life balance, saving up to 7 admin hours per week, and really regaining control over all the recurring deadlines and due dates for yourself, your team, and your clients. Enjoy. Well, today we decided to just take a step forward and prove it. And so this video is really designing a Jetpack workflow account from scratch. I'm going to show you what it's like to put together your initial templates, to upload your client list, and to even start assigning some things out to your team. So having said that, let's go ahead and dive in. I'm going to go ahead and you can see I've added my full name. I've added a sample email. Let me go add a sample password. Hopefully I remember this. Let's take a look at our score. All right, so let me amp up the score a little bit, see if that helps. There we go. Want to make sure we're nice and secure. I agree. Let's go to the next step. Nope, don't need to do that. Let's call it Cristela CPA. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We're just 1 and 2. We're not coming in through a society, through a state society, or anything like that. So let's go ahead and create the account. Now, the first thing you're going to see is let's go ahead and confirm the account. This is how we keep Jetpack Workflow secure. So the first thing you can do is open up your inbox and confirm your account. So I'm going to briefly pause the video, confirm the account, and come back in. All right, now I'm looking at the confirmation email. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Let's confirm the account. I'll close out the inbox. And let's dive in. It says we're inside. Wonderful, wonderful. So I'll go ahead and close that out. We see the dashboard. Now, this is just like the dashboard you're going to see when you start a free trial. We don't see any information in here yet. And because we're going to go through the walkthrough today, I don't want to walk through a video or anything like that. So let's go ahead and dive in straight to building out our first template. Now, there's one of two ways you can actually build out your template. Now, we do have a workflow library where we have best practices already built out. You know, we have things like a high-level 1120 checklist, for example, and you can add those right in. So what we're going to do for today's demonstration is I'm going to add one of them, and then I'm going to go ahead and custom create 3 other ones. So for example, let's look at the 1040. Everything looks good there. Okay, I'm going to add that to my templates. So if I go back to templates, you can now see I have that set up as a 1040. If I click into it, here's what we just dropped into the account. If things don't look how you want them to look, I'm going to show you how to customize that in a second. But having said that, you could drop in the template library to really jumpstart your setup process, to really jumpstart your ability to standardize your firm. But let's say that you might already have a checklist. Maybe it lives in a place like a spreadsheet, like the one I have right here. Now, this is a very simple checklist. Now, on average, the firms we work with have tasks, or other systems might say steps, that range anywhere from 4 to 6 steps. So that's kind of where we kept it for today's demonstration because that's on average what we see. Of course, you can have less, you can have more. It's entirely dependent on your firm. But let's say the first thing you want to set up would be bookkeeping. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click New Template. All right, and we're going to call this the monthly bookkeeping work, right? And so we could set up the initial due date. So let's say the first time we're going to run this is once this month closes out. We like to start this or complete it by the 5th. We can go ahead and set up that custom schedule. We could say it's monthly on the 5th of every month. So we'll go ahead and click OK. We can add managers now or later. I'm going to go ahead and add myself as the manager. I can say budgeted time, and we're all set to go. Create job template. Now again, because I already have things in a checklist somewhere, I can go ahead and just click copy, add a task, paste. Right? How long should the task take? Well, I could add this or I could save it for later. I could change the due date or I could keep it the default. It's really up to you how complex you want to make this task be. But I'm going to go ahead and click Save Task. And right, we have our first task in the system. Let's go ahead and fill out the rest of them. All right, so enter client information is number 2. All right, let's go ahead and drop that. Now, it looks like we have some notes to be sure to check the profile. This is always a great place to add just helpful reminders, reference videos, docs, whatever you might need to do. So let's go ahead and save that task. Go on to the next one. All right, and I'm gonna paste in reconcile accounts, hit enter, right? I'm gonna go ahead and click this one, Now it looks like we do have some more information, but for sure to review, I'll just tab on down, add that in there, add the next one, run reports. Now this is going to be really cool. So, let's say that you want to reference a video from YouTube on how to run reports outside of your accounting platform. You can do that. So I'm going to add that right into here, just in case somebody needs some help. You have a new hire, they really want to have a reference video so they know the best practices. It's a great way to do that. Now for this one, actually, we have a new template we like to send clients for the final report. So I'm going to reference that. I'm also going to attach something. I'm going to show you how to attach something here in a second. So, all right, but let's take a look at what we've done. We've added those 6 steps. Now, again, at the top, we entered a optional field of budgeted time. Big fan of adding budgeted time for your templates just to give yourself sanity and your team sanity about the capacity. If I want to then go ahead and evenly distribute the time down below, let's go ahead and do that. So, okay, 30 minutes for everybody. Looks great. Like I mentioned, we also want to come into here and attach a example report to this task. So I can come into here, click attachment, and add a reference report so we can make sure that we are formatting this service the same way each and every month. So you can add an attachment to any single one. All right, so that's pretty much it. We've built out our first template. Okay, what's next? Well, it's workflow in a weekend, so let's go ahead and build out just 2 more just to get the swing of things. If this becomes a little too redundant for you, not a problem. Go ahead and fast forward the video, but I'm going to go ahead and create a 1120 template right now. So I'm going to call this 1120 tax. All right, we'll go ahead and set that up for, at this point, out into the future. All right, let's just repeat that yearly. Pretty simple. Again, I'll make myself the default manager for now. You can always change this. Budgeted time. Again, I'm a big fan of this. It's optional. You don't need to add this. The only thing you ever need to add to a template is a template name. But let's go ahead and create the job template and start pasting in the final ones. Now, I want to show you a little trick to make these things go quicker, is if I just hit the name and I hit enter, it's going to load up the next task. So boom, enter, copy, paste, enter. Okay, initial review, enter, but it looks like we have some notes we want to reference. Just again, help text to make sure that you're following the process the same way each and every time, right? Adjust for errors found. Good, it looks like there's some help text right there. Now, this may seem a little tedious. I'm shooting a video, I'm showing you each step. But again, the reason I'm doing this is because so many platforms out there say, it is so easy, you can set it up so quickly, but then they never really show you what setup is like. So I really want to walk you through exactly how this process could be for you and your firm, because I know if everything's on fire, you're growing really quickly, you're not sure who you can delegate to, you're not sure how you can hire but still maintain control or quality across your client work, I want to show you what this process looks like in Jetpack and really open up the system to show you exactly what I mean. All right, so we went ahead and built out the next template. Again, I can evenly distribute time if I want to. I'll go ahead and drop it down below. Now, a couple things that you can look at from an advanced perspective. Let's say that when you're processing a service, you like to do handoffs. There are specific dependencies you want to build out, right? So let's say that we cannot prepare the return until the previous steps have been complete. I can actually come into here and just create quick handoffs, quick dependencies, right, between these two, right? So I can't start this until the previous ones are complete. So if handoffs or dependencies is something you want in the system, great, it's already here. And like I mentioned, inside of every task, you can add reference videos, you can add reference subtasks, you can add notes, you can add documents, just reminders to make sure that you or your team is doing the job to the standard that you have for your clients and for your firm. All right, so final thing I'll do, I promise this will be the last template I add into the system, and then we're going to walk through creating your clients and assigning those out. So, okay, so now we're going to do payroll. It's very simple. It's 5 steps. So I'm going to call this the payroll process. Now, if you're like many firms, maybe you have different cadences. We're going to set this one up for weekly. We're going to grab this once a weekly on Friday. Great. Manager, again, me. How long does it take? 1 hour, probably being generous there. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less. Again, you can adjust this. You don't need to add this. Again, you don't need to add the budgeted time. I'm just a really big fan of adding budgeted time because I love seeing where we're at from a capacity perspective. Is it time to hire? Is somebody being overwhelmed? Is somebody being underwhelmed? Who can take on more work? Who can take on less work? I just love seeing that because it really gives you sanity over everything that's going on in your firm. All right, so in the first couple minutes here, we now have our standardized list of templates. I showed you what it was like to build them from scratch. If you dropped one in from your template library, again, you can always come into here and update it. You can always come into here and just click the task name, change budgeted time, change the due date, do whatever you need to do to really make sure it's your own, that this really fits your firm. You always have that ability when you drop in a workflow template to customize it to fit your firm. Okie doke. So we have our standardized list. As we invite our team into Jetpack Workflow later on, they're going to have the centralized location of how things run in the firm. This is an amazing place to store your playbook, your blueprint for running a firm. Okie doke. So next thing I'm going to do is upload the client list. Now I just have a sample client list here. Now with Jetpack Workflow, you can upload one at a time, you can upload a dozen, or you can upload hundreds, even thousands of clients at a time. But if it's in a Google Sheet like this, or even better, if it's in a spreadsheet, we do have a import option. So I'm going to click Clients, click Import Clients. Right now, if you ever are stuck, you're wondering if you want a sample spreadsheet, we have all this linked up here. I've used the system once or twice before, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this sheet, and I'm going to go ahead and click Choose File and attach it here. So in the blink of a second, you're going to see me inside of the import video, but what I'm going to do here is going to go into here, click, let's see, download, here we go, .csv, wonderful. Again, we have sample templates right here, so client list. I'm going to go ahead and hit pause, upload it into here, and I'll jump right back in. All right, as you can see, I downloaded the file, and I uploaded it here. I'm going to click the button Upload. All right, now the fun begins. Let's go ahead and map out this list. I'm going to go ahead and close the download bar below. So company name, first name, last name, email. Now you can have as many attributes as you want when you upload the client list. You can create custom attributes if you want to add a second name, a third address, a fourth phone number, whatever it may be. You could really customize your list. But let's go ahead and click Import. All right, let's take a look. Okay, everything looks good. I could tag everything with something right now, but everything looks good. So let's go ahead and click Save. It's going to take a second to refresh. So let's go ahead. I'm doing this in real time. I'm not going to go ahead and pause the screen at this time because I want to show you how long it might take for everything to get up here. So you can see it's loading, it's loading, it's loading. All right, so we're all set up. Here's the clients into the system. It's really cool. This is what a client profile looks like. If I just click into it for one of our clients, we have the tag set up. I'll show you why those are so amazing here in a second. We have the contact person. We can add notes or activities. We can add new fields. We can add whatever we want for the client we could put in here, which is really exciting. But in regards to workflow on the weekend, the milestone I really want to get you to is taking the templates, having those recurring deadlines, and start assigning them out to your clients. That's where the magic happens. So, all right, let's grab monthly bookkeeping. All right, so we designed this beautiful template, standardized. It really demonstrates the quality we try to get to as a firm. So now what we can do, and this is really the magic moment in my opinion, is go ahead and click Create Job for multiple clients. Now, the tags are really, really important because when I come into here and I'm going to duplicate out the monthly bookkeeping work, I only want to pull the clients that have the tag called bookkeeping. So you can see I start typing bookkeeping. Here's all my bookkeeping clients. Send them over. Click Create. Now I did that so quickly, you might have missed the magic moment, which is they're already assigned out. All of that work is sitting inside of Jetpack Workflow. It's standardized, and it's never going to be missed if you're looking at Jetpack Workflow. If you're coming into the tool and you're looking at the deadlines and due dates, it is now in the Jobs tab, which is where all your live work lives. Everything you need to get done lives in the Jobs tab. And the beautiful thing about this is as soon as you create something, you can search monthly bookkeeping work. You can search by the client. You can filter by all of these views, and you can sort by any column that you see here. So here's a really amazing thing. For monthly bookkeeping work, is have now all been assigned out to my clients. If I click monthly bookkeeping work, this is just the job for this specific client. I can come in here and add notes. I can collaborate with team members by using the app mentioned. I can come into here and also just check off tasks if I want to. This is what it looks like just to use the system day in and day out. Go back to my jobs list and take a look at the next thing. You can see that this is in progress. 2 out of 6 tasks have been complete. And most importantly, you see the deadline. You can make sure your work's getting done on time, and the recurrence is automated. Okay, now we're just getting started. Let's go ahead and do that for the other templates. Let's really roll this thing out and start to see what it looks like once it's kind of operational. All right, so let's open up the tax return template. Rinse and repeat. I'm going to do the same thing here. Anybody that has the word tax next to them, great. Grab it, create. Okay, and again, when I had my client list, I made sure to put into the list which one was a tax client, which one had tax and bookkeeping, which one had tax, bookkeeping, and payroll. These tags create superpowers inside of your Jetpack Workflow account. And you can just think whatever service a client has, create it as a tag, and you can use that to assign them a template. Okay, so we did that with tax. Let me go back to the job tab and show you exactly what that looks like now. All right, so here's all of our tax work. It's all recurring. It's all standardized. It's all set up. If I want to search just by tax work, I can come into here, and it's now indexed inside of the system. If I want to pull up everything for Jenny's Coffee, I can come into here and search just for the client. I can zoom back out and see everything again. If I want to pull up work that is in progress, I can filter by this. This really becomes your go-to place to answer any question you have about all the recurring work or one-off work you have in your firm. Okay, final example before we wrap up for today. And again, this can be done in a weekend. So you can go from chaos of not having a standardized process, of not having your deadlines automated, of not having client information in one place. And I really believe in a weekend, you can standardize your top services, roll those out to your clients, and then start introducing your team to this centralized system where they can now view everything, track everything, ask you questions, and everybody can just go to one place to deliver high quality work for the client. All right, so final one, payroll weekly. Let's go ahead and do this for multiple clients. Oh, there's no due date. We probably need to add a due date. Yep, that makes sense. All right, and that's another thing to point out. We tried to make the system, for lack of a better word, quite intelligent. If you're trying to do something that really won't work, won't really give you the views, we'll tell you, hey, this is not really working how you're going to want it to work. You might want to update, have a due date. So we try to pick these into the system for you. All right, to multiple clients, again, let's grab our payroll clients. Boom, 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 boom. Send them over. Hit create. Great. Successfully created for 7 clients. It's going to be found in the jobs list. All right, so over the last 20 minutes, let me just highlight what we've been able to go through. We set up a brand new account from scratch. There was no data in here at all. We started by creating our first set of templates. Now, if you're in the same position, I always recommend starting with your most frequent, most common, highest revenue, highest profit services or processes you have in your firm. So document a handful. If you ever want us to look at it, we're not a company that shies away from talking with firm owners and ambitious practitioners. You can open up the chat down below or our support ticketing center down below. You can see that right now it's under 5 minutes. We typically like to keep it under 20 minutes. So if you want us to take a look at what you've built out, happy to do so. If you want to have some best practices, happy to do so. If you have questions, we have the help and support up here as well, full knowledge base of all the articles and training you can want. But the goal of today's video was to show you from scratch, let's build out the top services, let's standardize them, let's get your clients into the system so you have one place to look at client information, and then let's automate all of these recurring deadlines and due dates so that things do not fall through the cracks. Now, my hope for you is whether it's a weekend or an afternoon, that you can start this journey of getting everything in order so you could properly scale your firm without things falling through the cracks. That's where the true freedom lies, is having processes in place, the ability to delegate it, but you as the owner, leader, practitioner still have the view you need to make sure everything is being accomplished in a timely manner. So look, this is the Jobs tab again. This is everything we've built out. We have the payroll weekly. We have the recurrence setup. We have monthly bookkeeping. We have that recurrence setup. We have the tax returns. We have that set up. And again, you can search and filter by anything here. So you were able to standardize and automate these workflows. Now, once you get into here, the next step would really be adding your team, getting your team involved, getting them into the system, right? Adding them to your account and starting to update your workflows, starting to add them as a manager, if they really are responsible for the end-to-end completion of work, or you can go into the task tab and start updating who's assigned to what tasks, right? So you can really go from there. As always, if you have questions about best practices, if you have questions about setup, always feel free to reach out. What we went through today was the very standard setup. It's very straightforward. Sometimes we see firms that they have a little bit of a nuance. They have something that they have a question about, they want a best practice. We're here to help you in your journey to create that scalable firm. So really appreciate you watching this video of how it can be fairly quick and simple and easy, I hope, to start getting things standardized and automated. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to us. Our email is hello@jetpackworkflow.com. And if you're ready to jump in and start a free trial to see the workflow library or even start building out a couple of templates of your own, even maybe assigning them out, you can always go to jetpackworkflow.com and hit the giant free trial button. Thank you so much for watching.